What is the future of spirituality in Japan?
It is as big and as spiritual as you wish it to be. If someone is engaged in pursuing spiritual awareness, the only thing that would stop it is the belief systems of the person. So the future of spirituality on the entire planet can be very expanded, but it simply has to be the choice of the people that are creating more spiritual energy in their lives, more spiritual awareness. So again, it depends on what world do you wish to wind up on? What version of Earth are you creating for yourself? Are you shifting to? What definition are you buying into and believing to be true when you zero out? Yes?
Yes, yes. Is there a version where a mass number of people awake spiritually in Japan?
Yes, of course there is. You can't imagine non-existence. So anything you can imagine is a version, is a parallel reality. So yes, of course. Okay. And as I said earlier, if you allow yourself to feel that that's a real reality, then the future version of yourself or herself in that reality can provide stepping stones and footprints for her to follow. Yes?
Yeah.
But you have to connect to that version knowing it's real in order to create a bridge, a link, a dialogue, a communication with that future self that can then encourage you forward. In a sense, it's like using your higher mind through a particular permission slip personality to lure you forward in a particular way. Yes?
Yes.
All right. Because that future self will also engage you and encourage you by giving you more ideas that are passionate. Because again, remember, the future self has lived a life of passion. Therefore, the experiences of the future self's past that it's suggesting to you will all be experiences that bring more and more passion into your life. So it functions similarly to the idea of the higher mind's communication, which is often translated as passion, creativity, love, curiosity, attractiveness. You understand?
Yes.
All right. Does that answer the question sufficiently then?
I believe so.
All right.
Her next question is, to live the new earth, to flood the earth with love,
Yes.
what can each of us be aware of?
Be yourself as best as you can, because then you act as a living example to others that they can choose to live that way too. Be a loving being, unconditionally. It doesn't mean you don't have preferences. It doesn't mean you don't recognize when someone may be expressing negative energy, but you understand with compassion that they simply may know no other way. So you can share ideas of how they can feel more self-empowered, how they can buy into more positive beliefs, but that's all the help you can give. You can't force anyone to be more positive, but by being the example and sharing information, at least you give them an opportunity to choose that when they may not have known that such an opportunity existed. Yes?
Yes.
That's the best you can do.
Yeah.
What they do with the information you give them is none of your business.
Yes. Yes.
Zero.
Yes.
Because again, we give you all these ideas, we share with you our experiences. What you do with it is none of our business. It's your world, it's your life, it's up to you. If every single one of you decided not to apply any of this information, I would still be doing it because it's my passion and my pleasure. I do not gauge my passion on the conditions of your choices. But I know that you will be happier if you do. But that's up to you to figure out. Anything else?
I have two of my own questions.
Yes.
What star race has the strongest soul connection to what we know as the Japanese people?
Well, there are actually a few, but Sirius is very strong among them.
That's what I always felt.
Yes.
Is that why I have such a strong connection with Japan? Because of my Sirius connection?
It's one of them. It's not everything, but it's one of the connections, yes.
Is there another reason that's useful for me to know at this time, why I have such a strong connection?
I'm sure there is. Not for me to tell you, though.
Yeah.
But there is someone who can have that discussion with you in your dream time, if you ask them to.
Is it the person who gave me the questions to ask you today?
No.
Oh, it's
It's more like a spirit guide.
A spirit guide.
So when you go to sleep, ask to have that dialogue of being aware, being made aware of what these connections are. And you will begin to understand through that particular connection the answers that you seek.
Right before I go to sleep, what do I focus on to start that connection?
I just told you. Did I not?
You did.
I can repeat it. You are asking that spirit guide, that being, that friend, that member of the soul family, that reflection to engage you in a dialogue to help you understand the connections that you're seeking to figure out. Yes? So it's like, let's have that dialogue.
Yeah. Thank you. My final question.
Yes.
In a 12-strand DNA strand model, how many strands am I on right now, and how can I suck
There
it more?
is no way any of you can develop more than 3 strands physically.
Oh.
The other strands are higher dimensional expressions and cannot manifest physiologically in your present human form.
Can we energetically connect with them in
Of
this
course, you can tap into them energetically, absolutely, vibrationally. And your 3 strands, or 2.5 at the moment, can translate them down into what is appropriate for the expression of DNA that exists in your dimension.
How can I more strongly connect with the ones I'm not connecting with right now psychically?
Gee, I wonder, if only there was a formula. Let's look at this once again.
Okay.
But more specifically, here is the key. When you follow your impassion, what happens? You raise your frequency. When you raise your frequency, what happens? You become a better receptor to higher frequency communication and energy. And when you do that, higher energy manifestations are more probably likely to occur. Because you've raised your frequency, become a better antenna to download those things. Yes?
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. You are all adorable.
And I love the fact that I'm talking to you after that statement, Bashar. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. I've been listening to your downloads, recordings, whatever you call it, for years. And this is I want to start with a statement, if I may.
Yes, of course.
This is a very important day for me because today I understood emotionally something that I understood intellectually for many years, and also teaching other people about it.
But now you got it.
I got it today.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I wanted to share it with you and get your perspective on it.
Oh, all right.
It might help other people too, and me.
Maybe.
So I understood very well that I many times when I would be in frames that I did not like, I would wrestle with an issue. I would try to find the conviction behind it.
Yes.
And I thought, many times, I thought that would help me because I would come to a realization and then change it.
Yes.
And today I realized that you can wrestle the problem. You need to raise your vibration. You need to focus on things you like.
Yes.
And then you get the download. And then you change it.
And
it was amazing today.
Yes, as your own Einstein once said,
yes,
you cannot solve a problem from the same level in which the problem was created.
I keep saying that to my students.
You have to go to a higher level.
Yes.
Well, all right, then you instinctively understood it.
Yes, and what happened at that moment when I understood it, I was at a park working with my dog, and I love dogs, and a stream of puppies in that moment started running towards me, and it was amazing.
All right.
And then I said to myself, oh my God, this is it. And then a butterfly, which was a reference about a discussion I had 3 hours before that, started flying in front of me, and I was like, oh my God, this is it. And today I came here. And I wanted to ask a question about joy and easiness, and here I am. So I wanted to say something about it. So I realized that I want from now on easiness, easy. I just want easiness in my life. And
All right.
I wanted to hear your perspective about it. And if you give me something
It's
more.
one of the tools in the kit of passion that automatically unfolds when you follow the formula. There are several tools in the kit of passion. Number one, it becomes the driving engine of your life because it's your passion, so you have the energy to move forward and do these things. Number two, it's the organizing principle of synchronicity that brings you what you need in perfect timing in the order
Puppies.
in which you need to act on it. Number three, it becomes, and here it is, the path of least resistance.
Oh, so that's what it is. So easiness is the path of least resistance. Duh.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you
Plus,
for that.
just allowing us to finish,
Yes.
the path of connection to other forms and expressions of your excitement, the path of greatest abundance that will support you in whatever form it needs to allow you to continue to act on your excitement, and the idea of the reflective mirror that reveals to you anything in your belief system that's out of alignment with your excitement, so you can identify it and let it go and add that energy to your excitement. And it's a complete kit. It leaves absolutely nothing relevant out for you. That's how it works. So those are the tools in the kit when you activate them with the formula.
Thank you so much, Bashar.
You are so welcome.
I also wanted to thank you for the Earth Zero and what you started today, this transmission with, which is
Yes.
fascinating me. This is what I teach about the frames and everything in my
Yes,
life.
yes.
And I just wanted to clarify something, if I may, if you could clarify actually for
All
me.
right.
So I was always wondering when we hop from frames to frames.
Yes.
We're a three-aspect being, and we perceive ourselves as being the one who's perceiving where we are and what
Yes,
is
of
going on.
course.
The physical mind, mostly,
Well, it's
right?
more than that. Because you will always perceive the experience as happening to you no matter what level you're on.
Right. So the question was, all my other versions, the ones that I can connect in the future as I perceive
Yes,
it, or in
yes,
the
yes.
past as I perceive it.
Yes.
The other ones, they also understand themselves as one. Can you explain a little bit more? Is
It's
it
a
the physical
holographic
mind?
structure. It's a holographic structure. Everything is a reflection of all that is, experiencing itself as that reflection consciously of all that is. So everyone sees and experiences everything they do from their own unique perspective. It's like being a hall of mirrors. Each reflection is autonomous and self-aware and conscious. And therefore it experiences everything it experiences from its own point of view, because that's what you are. You are a unique point of view of all that is.
So when I connect with my infinite versions of me,
You
and
will
they
experience
perceive,
it as yourself.
as myself. So if I'm
From
connecting
your
to
point of view. You will be all that is. You will be all that is.
how are they perceiving me in a sense then?
As an aspect of all that is.
So if I'm talking to a future frame of me, if I'm doing the zero, like if it's the
Yes.
immediate after as I perceive it, my future one,
Yes.
that perceives me as its past, and I perceive that as my future, but
Yes.
we're different, we're parallel, right?
Although the future self might perceive you more multidimensionally than just as its past.
Could you elaborate a little bit?
Well,
on that?
again, the very concept of a future self also can contain the idea that they can also perceive more multidimensionally. So it might see you not just as its past, but as one of many probable pasts.
Right, that's what I'm also working. I'm changing a lot of my past versions, knowing that I have
yes, yes.
infinite of those.
Yes.
But what I was trying to say is all of those versions of me, I
They're
still
not
perceive
you,
they're
but
not me,
yes.
they're parallel, right?
They're their own people, yes.
But do we have the same higher mind and the same physical
No,
brain?
no. You may have the same oversoul,
Okay.
but a higher mind is specific to the personality structure and the physical mind.
Oh my goodness.
So in other words, very simply, this is an oversimplification, but oversoul, multiple extensions are multiple incarnations and multiple time frames, multiple parallel realities to some levels of oversouls. Then there are oversouls who are extending themselves into multiple versions of souls. The soul splits itself into a non-physical higher mind and a physical mind so that the higher mind part can guide the physical mind. And then when the physical mind has an experience, it freezes that experience in a sense as a spirit of that person, which is still part of the idea of the higher mind and the oversoul, and all of that experience is shared by all.
So the idea is that the group of the higher minds create something? Like, how would you call the group of
A
heart
soul,
minds?
an individual soul, which creates
Soul.
an oversoul.
So when I'm talking to a future or parallel but future for me version of me, it has its own higher mind.
Yes, it does.
And that is connected with my higher mind, and they create like a higher mind, so to speak.
They can be connected, yes.
Is
They
there-
don't have to experience the connection. Yes, everything is connected, but it doesn't necessarily have to create an experience of that connection, but it can.
So when I'm experiencing what someone else experienced, another version of me, I'm experiencing totally from my own perspective.
Yes.
So it's totally different from my
Yes.
future past
Yes.
version.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Oh my dog.
Oh, my dog, yes. Thank you for that. I also wanted to share in one of my pasts, I had an ayahuasca experience.
Yes.
And during that wonderful experience, I had what I perceive an encounter with a being that was multidimensional or
Yes.
higher dimension than me. And at the time, I perceived it as an insect, or it looked like an insect. And later on, I got the information that maybe belonged to the mantis alien. I was just wanting a little bit of confirmation, and if you could tell me personally if I'm connected with the Pleiadian energy, and what is the mantis energy?
Yes, you are
somehow?
connected to Pleiadian energy, but the mantis connection is the idea of the hybridization agenda, because as far as the Greys are concerned, the mantis being is a being that they engaged to oversee them as a hive mind in their hybridization project.
So
because being hive minds doesn't allow them any particular individual initiative, so they needed a controlling consciousness, which the mantis can provide. And you have a connection, another version, as a mantis.
It was such a wonderful connection with so much humor.
Yes.
Is there anything more that I need to do there, or
Just get on with your life. And remember, the tool of synchronicity will bring you all the information that's relevant for you to know in perfect timing when you need it. Not a second before you need it, but not a second later than you need it.
One last small aspect on that specific question. I didn't think I would ask it, but I'm asking it now that you told me what the mantis beings
Yes.
are. Do I have hybrid children?
Yes.
I do.
Yes.
Did I have an abduction somewhere experience that I don't know?
Yes.
Is there anything more that I need to know about that? This is so
No.
No? Okay.
Not now.
Not now. Will I, if I choose to, if I follow my...
You can ask for more conscious recognition and participation on your own terms when you go to sleep and see what happens.
I see. Are there many
Many what?
children?
Well, yes. Because again, genetic material is spread among thousands of hybrids.
Oh my God. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, my dog. One last thing.
Nope, that was the last thing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
We would perhaps suggest sometimes that some of you go and purchase one of your dictionaries and look up the word last.